And of course, if you start, I had this principle that was taught to me as a young real estate agent, that we need to lead with revenue. So don't, as soon as you get your license, don't start swiping your credit card and everything and throwing money at a bunch of stuff. But if you start generating some coin and you want to put, some money behind a post and boost it, by all means, go ahead. All right, any questions before we move on from social networking? Nothing? All right, let's get to Google. So, the #1 search engine is Google. What's number 2?
YouTube.
Who owns YouTube?
Google.
Okay, so do you think there's just some sort of a profitable connection that might exist between these two, and some reason why we should be focused here? All right, so I didn't look at, I told you I've got YouTube videos that I shot with my phone. Like one of them is, we used to keep our boat at a marina. Okay, so it was dry stored. So they would splash it and gas it, they said. Like they take it out, they splash it in the water, they gas it up, and you just walk onto that thing and go, and then bring it back, and they wash it and everything. And so we're waiting for this to happen one morning. Usually we get there, we've given them enough notice to do it ahead of time, and it's already in the water splashed and gas. But this particular morning was kind of on the fly thing, and so I'm sitting there, and here comes the boat coming out of the marina, and I was like, I'm going to get this on video. And I'm just going to take people on this little journey, because I feel like people, if they move here, they may want to know like where to keep their boat, and then they may want to know like how to navigate these waters, and they just may want to see what a typical day in the life of somebody who does what I'm doing on this particular Saturday does. So I'm just getting some video clips. We get on the boat, getting a little video clip. I can't remember all what we did. I think we went to Pirates Cove, got some video clips of that. Went to Robinson Island, got some video clips of that. It just so happened to be like one of those days where you could see straight to the bottom, and like I could see fish swimming. I got like fish, like mullet, school of mullet swim by, and I got it on the video. And I'm just, like, we get to the island, I'm panning around, there's little kids digging in the sand and building sand castles. So this turned all edited up. It was like 2 to 3 minutes. I can't really remember, but that's one of those 10,000 view videos. And so YouTube has, so this is your video. All right, it has a section below the video where you can put remarks. You can also put a hot link to your website in there. As long as you use the HTTP, it'll hot link to wherever you want to send them. To your blog, to your website, to wherever. And then there's another section down here at the bottom where you can put your keywords and tags to draw in your audience to your video. And all this was free. Okay? Now, this gave me this video. I upload the video directly to Facebook and then directly to YouTube. So there's the packaging and deploying. Packaging and deploying to different channels. Let's get the most out of this thing that we possibly can. Now there may have been one particular video clip at that time. It was way before stories. But if I did that now, maybe there's one particular clip. Maybe it was the fish swimming in the water, where I might take that and put it on my stories. So this is what I'm talking about here, okay? So just think about that. This is not, this content creation is not, in deploying is not just a one and done. You can get a lot more leverage out of this. And what YouTube really is, for me, is a library. Like it may really, I may deploy it here and get the most lead generation juice from it, but ultimately it's going to live here and continue to generate views and conversations and leads forever. So it's that little sales force. Just I'm deploying this little sales force. Not everybody loves to write, but one thing, I mean, part of what we're doing here is I just want to get you thinking differently and thinking about possibilities. I mean, it may not be right now, but it may be at some point down the future. But we talk about the conversations we're having in our minds, and the primary thing I hear people say is, I'm not a good writer. And man, I've heard an agent say that who has eventually sat down to write something. She wrote a blog about what it was like to be a realtor and a mom of 3 girls and to sell her own house. And this thing went bananas when she posted on Facebook. So I hear all these things. I can never do this. I'll never do that. I'll never be good at this. And I just hear that all the time, and I see these things get crushed and evolve into things. So you don't have to be a great writer to write a great blog.
And also, like, it doesn't have to get a bunch of likes. You just, if you think about you're writing a blog, and then, like I said, if you impact one person, you're doing the right thing. Like, you don't have to have a whole bunch of likes. You don't have to have, it doesn't have to be viral or anything like that to be a good article or a good blog. Just write what's on your mind.
I think it comes down to that we could circle back and go, all right, well, how many deals did I close last year? How many do I want to close this year? You know, these things add up. If it results in one deal, and this is what my hope is, and Bert and I were having this conversation at lunch yesterday. I was like, you keep up with this social media posting, it's going to result in a sale. I know that is true. And when that happens, because it happened to me, I got that $5,000 check, and I was like, oh boy. And I asked the consumer, how did you find me? How did this happen? Oh, we saw your video on YouTube, and we wanted to do business with you. Okay, so this actually works. And it's just, I mean, I've been just obsessed with it ever since. Just creating this content and just focused on just looking through that lens, like where's my next opportunity, okay? All right, so GoDaddy is next. I feel like this is one of the easier ways to, and I forgot my little star because this is paid. This is paid, but it's low cost and it's easy to drive traffic to your website. And these are connected, okay? So, and GoDaddy is just what I use. You can use any, domain purchasing platform that you like. But I really start here with Google Suggest. And all that means I'm just going to Google and I'm starting to type in search phrases. And Google just does that drop-down menu. It's going to say, all right, here's what I think you're looking for, and here's what other people who have typed in similar stuff, here's their search phrases. So you're looking, it basically gives you from least to greatest what people are searching for. So where do we want to sell? What do we want to sell? So is it a particular subdivision? Is it a particular MLS area? You know, do I want to focus on Midtown, Westmobile? And let's go to Google Suggest and see what people are actually searching for in terms of areas. So I have the ability, I look at the analytics of this. Okay, so I study, like I'll buy these and then I'll just look at what's getting the most traffic and maybe I'll double down on that. But use Google Suggest and you go to GoDaddy and see if it's available. See if Westmobile Alabama Homes for Sale is available. And buy that and then point it, you're going to point it with masking, which allows you to do a title, a description, and keyword phrases to drive it to your website. So if people are looking at Mobile, Alabama real estate for sale, Westmobile, Alabama real estate for sale, you're driving traffic back to your website.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
All right, so I think if you're buying a GoDaddy domain for just a year, you're looking at $11.99. $11.99. So to me, it's worth it. And we're going to, as we go into, like, I can tell you, Mobile, Alabama Gulf Coast in general, very competitive with search engine optimization. Baldwin County way more so than Mobile County because this is a much more traditional market. You try to go to Baldwin County and find a good search term, it's really, really difficult. Okay, but like going into Birmingham, I could not believe what's available. So I'm just buying all this stuff up like crazy. This is free, Google Places. If you don't have your Google Places set up, you need to do it. super easy. This is a super easy way to get found in search. And this is a place for you to like advertise your open houses, but also post your reviews, post things that are going on in the community. It's really just, when we talk about your storefront, this is like you're open for business. You can have your link to your website. This really is your storefront for Google. Okay? Free to set up. Now, I want one thing just kind of to keep an eye on in terms of trends is, will Facebook Marketplace eventually rival classified sites? And for a while there, I was creating content about this. I was like, Marketplace is the new Craigslist. But it's just been super weird. Like it had a lot of momentum and then it just kind of died off. But now it seems like in the last few days, I'm starting to generate some conversations for Marketplace again. So I don't know, but there's a philosophy here of like always be testing. So I just want to just put, it's like I'm fishing. I want to keep a line out everywhere. And this, create a Marketplace ad, there's a renew option there. So it's only live for a period of time. Then you just go and renew the post. So you may have to adjust the price, or you may want to adjust the photos, but other than that, it's very low effort. If I create something, I mean, Craigslist is 48 hours. I think this is like 7 to 10 days when you're on Marketplace. Now, Craigslist, there was a point in time where I could generate anywhere from 400 to 700 leads a month from Craigslist. And when they took that capability away, like I was very sad, like really depressed. But Craigslist wanted to level the playing field. It was getting heavily dominated. What was happening, and you'll see like Facebook doesn't like this either, when you put a website link into a post or an ad that takes the visitor or the consumer away from their site. So they don't like that. But boy, was that awesome. So then the scuttlebutt was, well, Craigslist is dead. Craigslist is no longer viable. And I'm here to tell you that if you do this right, and you're working this right in conjunction with a front-end website and a CRM, this could be that 20 to 30 lead source per month that you need to sustain your business. But I would say we don't want to fish in one spot. We want to fish in multiple spots. But just to show you the opportunity that exists, because you could get 5 to 10 here, 5 to 10 here, 5 to 10 here, and the majority of it's free unless you want to do some of these low-cost things. I mean, if you want to boost a post, maybe you're only doing $5 or $10. But Craigslist is king, but there's some other ones that are useful too, and there may be some new ones that I don't even know about. But I like classifiedads.com because it tells me how many people clicked on my ad. And I like, really like anything that allows me to put a hot link in it. That still allows me to put that link, which will drive people back to my site. And if you get into this, you'll start hearing terms like backlinking. So like all of our websites have blogs built into them at JPAR, but I still have, I have Wix blogs because they link back to my website, which is my website, Google Juice. So take a look at this. Here's your stars here. You can create paid classified ads on different sites. Like if you get a luxury listing, luxury waterfront listing, like in the listing presentation, tell them you're going to advertise on wallstreetjournal.com. Not a bad way to seal the deal. And not a bad way to generate leads into the sales funnel. All right, let me check the time. Any questions?